In today's news headlines, the Maypen police are currently investigating the passing of a Clarendon man. According to the police, Ricardo Brown, a 31-year-old man of Canaanites in the parish, is believed to have assaulted a woman. He was subsequently confronted by a man said to be the woman's spouse. The Maypen police in Clarendon are investigating the circumstances surrounding the mob killing of a 31-year-old man called Ricardo Brown in the Maypen market in the parish on Saturday. The police have stated that Brown is of a Canaanite's address in the parish of Clarendon and that it is believed that he assaulted a woman. He was subsequently confronted by a man. An altercation reportedly ensued between Mr. Brown and the man, during which Mr. Brown allegedly used a knife to inflict wounds to the man's shoulder. A brother of the man who was injured reportedly intervened and was also stabbed in the shoulder and side by Mr. Brown. It is understood that Brown was subsequently mobbed and stabbed multiple times by citizens. He was later taken to the Maypen Hospital, where he was pronounced by the medical team. The two brothers are currently undergoing treatment. As at March 20th of 2022, a total of 11 persons have been killed in Clarendon. There is a 50% decline when compared with the 22 murders for the corresponding period in 2021. A man who was being sought by the police in relation to a shellings incident lost his life. A man who was being sought by investigators has since been shot dead during a confrontation with the police in Grange Hill in Westmoreland. The man has been identified as Grant. Grant was being sought for robbery and wounding with intent. The police mentioned that a 9mm pistol with 2 rounds was seized following the shellings incident on Saturday. The ongoing curfew in St. Andrews South has been extended until Tuesday. All persons within the boundaries of the curfew are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized in writing by the ground commander. The curfew imposed in sections of the St. Andrews South Police Division has been extended for another 48 hours. The curfew was scheduled to end on Saturday. It will now end at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, March 29th. The boundaries of the curfew are as follows: along an imaginary line A from imaginary line B in the vicinity of Potassi Avenue to Malines Road to the vicinity of Glendale Drive. Along Malines Road from an imaginary line A in the vicinity of Glendale Drive to Washington Boulevard. South along Washington Boulevard from Malines Road to an imaginary line B in the vicinity of Elma Crescent. West along an imaginary line B in the vicinity of Elma Crescent from Washington Boulevard to an imaginary line in the vicinity of Potassi Avenue. All persons within the boundaries of the curfew are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized in writing by the required officials. In further news, a 21-year-old man from Kingston has been arrested and charged for murder. The Kingston Central Police have mentioned that close to 1:40 a.m. on the 16th of March, a 36-year-old man known as Winston Dunkley was in his house when Romeo Scott and other men armed with knives and machetes forced open the front door to his room and pounced upon him. A 21-year-old Kingston man has since been arrested and charged with the passing of a St. James Street man. Romeo Scott is scheduled to face the court for the March 18th death of 36-year-old Winston Dunkley, otherwise called Perry, a laborer of James Street, Rose Garden in the parish. According to the Kingston Central Police, close to 1:40 a.m., Mr. Dunkley was in his house when Scott and other men with sharp instruments forced open the door to his room. Dunkley was chopped and stabbed all over his body. He was transported to a hospital where he was pronounced by the medical team. After an intensive investigation, Mr. Scott was charged after a question and answer session with his attorney. A curfew has been imposed in the zone of special operations in Norwood following 4 murders within one day. The curfew will start at 7 p.m. and end on Monday at 6 a.m. 1 man was killed, and this morning 8 persons were shot, 3 fatally on Walker Drive in the community of Norwood. One of the 3 persons who lost his life this morning has been identified as 26-year-old Spence of Bottom Pen, and he is said to be a friend of a dangerous individual who launched an attack with high-powered dangerous tools. The other person who passed away has been identified as Damian Minto, a 22-year-old man, and Lenroy Martin, a 25-year-old man of Walker Drive in Norwood. According to reports, Spence was among armed men from Bottom Pen who came up through Walker Hill and opened shellings on a group of persons along the roadway. Reports indicate that Mr. Spence was hit as he and his friends opened shellings wildly in the crowd. The police have recovered more than 50 spent casings. A youth who was in her house was among those injured when a gunshot pierced the window to her bedroom. Minto, along with Spence and Martin, passed away immediately on the spot. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.